Okay, I believe we are live. Let me just check real quick on YouTube. How, uh, actually, okay, I think we're good. All righty. Hello, hello, hello. Helena Das here, and I felt called to hop on here today and share with you a couple of things. I want to talk to you about what I'm calling a cosmic news flash and the importance of this Chiron conjunct North node, which is peaking on February 19th. Today, at the time of this recording, it is the 15th, the day after V-Day. So I hope that you had yourself a beautiful, magical, blissful V-Day. I did share a little reel with my magical moments with my beloved Indigo, my Valentine's. Anyway, and today I'm going to be really transparent with you. And actually, this whole week, like, not only am I sensitive, highly sensitive to begin with, and I'm lunar sensitive, and my moon is in Aries, I'm a Virgo sun, a Pisces rising. Um, and this Chiron North Node conjunction, which we're going to get into here in a minute, is actually taking place in Aries. They're already coming together. The peak energies, like I said, are on the 19th. But this past week, for me personally, there's been a lot of emotions. Earlier in the week, there was some real like agitation, irritation. I got super triggered. Today, this morning, I woke up feeling very like melancholy, and I've been weepy all morning. And I want you to know, if you're coming across this video, whenever you do, because time is fluid, but especially if you're coming across it in the February 2024 window, so to speak, that if you've been feeling some things, again, it can range, it could be anything from just being more emotional to feeling more triggered about certain things and or agitated, irritated, more easily kind of inflamed. Maybe you're even ignited about doing your soul's work, or impatient or reckless, any of those type of feelings, because Aries is that fiery leader sign ruled by Mars. And so those fiery energies may be ignited or triggered in you at this time. On the flip side, you may feel perhaps like the opposite, sort of lack of motivation, apathetic, lethargic, whatever the case may be. But if you're feeling it, like if you're feeling the vibes, if you're feeling any kind of sort of way, and especially if you're feeling like some repetitive old patterns, old stories, even like old wounds are kind of resurfacing at this time, it is not an accident. And please know that the stars and the universe are always conspiring for you, for us. And so if you're going through something, first and foremost, know that you are not alone, and which is why I shared what I've been going through. And I may chat more about that in a bit. But the second piece is to also know that what it is a golden and divine opportunity for us to do a little bit of reflection, maybe do some inner work and healing work, depending on where you're at on the journey, to really help yourself find the gold, help yourself really find the blessings, the gifts, the lessons in whatever's going on, so you can grow, so you can transform, so you can elevate and rise to your full potential at this time. And this can be in any area of life. We all have our own different flavor of what we may be going through. So before I dive into this cosmic news flash, I also want to make sure I don't forget to mention a very time-sensitive announcement or reminder, again, depending on when you're tuning into this, and that is because of this transit. I was strongly nudged by spirit and what I call the medicine of the horse, the multi-dimensional medicine of the horse, specifically the dark horse codes, which we'll also get into here in a few moments. I was nudged to create a very special, it is a time-sensitive Valentine's Day offer to activate your dark horse codes. There are 3 different levels or options to choose from, depending on where you're at on the journey. And I will make sure to put the links down below in the box below when I'm done here, but I also did recently post, share a Valentine's post where the link should have been there as well. And so I just want to make sure you know, because of the time-sensitive Valentine's special savings, that again, I'm just going to trust whoever is meant to do this work that I'm meant to serve at this time will find their way to this video and to, that offer. But I just wanted to share it. So, and by the way, if you do find this after the fact, because time is fluid and you're resonating with the message and what I'm going to be sharing here during the rest of our time together, I want you to know that, feel free to reach out to me if you would like to do this work, and we can explore what might be the best fit for you at the time, and how I can potentially support you. So that being said, I'm going to take a sip of water. And I'm going to say transparently, I'm so grateful for the Zoom little touch up here, because like I said, I've been weepy. I was weepy earlier. And anyway, so the baggy eye thing is not showing up as bad as I thought it would. So yeah, let's break this down. Let's talk about this conjunction junction, if you will. And then I want to talk to you about the dark horse codes and what they are and how they came to me from spirit, and how you can benefit from working with them to essentially like unleash your true, healthiest, radiant, most vibrant self, to heal from your past, set yourself free from past trauma and wounds, and essentially let your soul shine and enjoy feeling better, feeling happy, healthy, and beyond. And so that is my goal and intention for you. Because real quick, in case you don't know me, you don't know my story, at one time, I did struggle for almost a decade with chronic fatigue, anxiety, and depression. I was diagnosed with a bunch of conditions because I went to all these doctors, from early onset Addison's to chronic Lyme's disease. I tried everything from acupuncture to ayahuasca, from talk therapy to tantra, from a dozen different type of diets and herbal medicine and supplements. And it wasn't until I actually discovered what I now call the multi-dimensional medicine of the horse. And one part of that is the dark horse star codes, again, which we'll be getting into today. And it helped me begin to come back home to myself, to heal and feel better. It helped me connect the dots between my soul wounds and my soul's work. It helped me to really practice building my emotional agility muscles and ultimately begin to master what I now call emotional alchemy, where I can literally shift and lift my vibes no matter what's going on more easily and gracefully than ever before, without doing any sort of drugs or taking anxiety meds or any of those things where you would numb yourself out. In the past, I would have had a glass of wine, and when it was really bad, vodka used to be my go-to. So I want you to know that I've come a long way, and that's why, as a result of doing all this work and activating my own personal dark horse codes and being given the whole sort of system and body of work to me by spirit and the medicine of the horse and my horses, I've been able to also help countless women all over the world really get their magical mojo, their sacred, sexy sparkle back in their bodies and their lives by doing this work. And so that's a bit about me. I also have a really rich background, by the way, in the healing arts. I was a renegade vet for 2+ decades, practicing acupuncture, chiropractic, herbal medicine, and more. And then as I had my spiritual awakening, when I lost my beloved Skipper, who's in that picture, 3 months after losing my mom, that put me sort of in my dark night of the soul, but then that led to what I call my unbridled soul journey and my SHERO'S journey, and really doing the work that I do now, where I love, love, love helping women who especially love horses or are drawn to the spirit of the horse, really do this work and heal their past traumas and set themselves free, from not only the pain of those past wounds, but also the physical body issues that are connected to them, and allow them to really thrive and heal their bodies and so much more. So all of that being said, let's get back to the topic at hand, the Chiron conjunction North Node. So Chiron, in case you are not familiar, Chiron is the wounded healer archetype. It is also known, AKA, as the dark horse planet. It is actually an asteroid or celestial body that officially is too small to be considered a planet, but it was discovered in 77 when a lot of the really holistic mind-body modalities started to surface, chiropractic, etc. And so that was no accident. And it is associated with the sacred centaur, the half horse, half human, which the symbolism, the rich symbolism around the sacred centaur, which for me is like, when I discovered it, it was like the medicine of the horse is in the stars, right? It's also associated with the Sagittarius sign. But that being said, it's all about really not only seeking a higher truth, a higher potential, but it's also about the sacred union of our humanity and our divinity, of the human intellect and the animal instinct, of the masculine and the feminine, and more. And so it's a really beautiful representation of wholeness, freedom, and sovereignty. And there's also a story, which I won't get into, in mythology with Chiron, who was rejected by his mom. And that core wound really is what he went on to heal on his journey, and then became like a healer and an astrologist and a mentor, and was able to help others because of his sort of wounded healer journey, right? He became the empowered leader and teacher to help others. And so in a nutshell, the essence of the wounded healer archetype, which Chiron represents, has to do with doing our inner healing work, right? So that we can then help others who have gone through similar things, right? So what else do I want to say about that? Oh, so as of a couple of days ago, when I pulled the daily planet transits, Chiron was in Aries at 16 degrees, I think it was. And the North Node was also at 16 degrees in Aries. And so the North Node, let's talk about the North Node. The North Node literally represents our destiny. It represents kind of like our North Star, a guiding star, the direction that our destiny is headed according to our soul blueprint, and more, okay? The South Node is more like our past karma, okay? And so the fact that Chiron is hooking up, joining, coming together with the North Node is super potent and significant, because it is giving us the most incredible opportunity to do the healing work and therefore realign, refine, rewrite rewire, recalibrate our destiny if we desire. But here's the catch. The catch is we have free will. And so we really always, because of our free will, it's always our choice whether we want to do this work, whether we want to, step up to our next level, our full potential. And the saying, I can't remember who the saying was that I originally heard it, but the saying always stuck with me. And that is that our destiny is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of choice. And so I'm not going to say that there isn't a greater power, source, God, infinite intelligence, whatever you resonate with, that isn't at play. However, I do truly believe that we can use our free will to co-create with that higher power, and have an influence in our destiny. And so that was the case for me when I was in this place of struggling with my chronic health issues, as I shared earlier. And at that time, until I discovered this work and the dark horse codes and all the things, really, I truly could not even imagine feeling better. Like if I thought about the quote unquote diagnoses and the symptoms and all the prognoses and the labels and all the things, right? Especially having a veterinary medical background. I went to Cornell for vet school. And so having that background, there was that scientific mind who was kind of like, okay, this is the diagnosis, this is my prognosis, right? And yet there was another part of me that was still seeking, still hoping, still somehow believing that there must be a better way and that I must somehow be able to feel better. And I'm so glad that I never gave up, and that I was guided and inspired and blessed with having my own horses who helped me, on this journey to really, see things differently, right? And as I was able to first start shifting my perspective and opening up to possibility, right? As I first started doing that, then other things started opening up, and there was a ripple effect where I began to dive into like the mind body connection and breath work, and then bringing in my own background in Chinese medicine and acupuncture, right? I was able to weave together a number of really powerful cutting edge modalities over the years, because I'm always evolving, and how I am continuing as a work in progress with my own, like the maintaining and up leveling of my body, my health, my life, right? My business. And also when I work with my clients and support others, I really desire to help them in the best, fastest, most effective, efficient, highly effective ways possible. And I will say this, I've always been a trailblazer and kind of in the forefront of a lot of things. Even when I had my renegade vet practice. This is going back, I graduated vet school in 94, I think it was, and I started my practice in 99. And back then I was teaching people about feeding their, with the dogs, the small animals, like the raw food and, homemade diets for their dogs. And now, fast forward like 2 decades, 2.5 more, almost 3 decades later, right? Now we've got the farmer's dog and a lot of more consciousness and awareness around all of that. And that's just one example. I also like to I like to think about or remember how I trailblazed out of my mom's womb 2 months premature, and I think I was only 4 pounds. And so, in many ways, I've always been sort of ahead of my time, and that's brought some of its own sort of challenges and gifts. But that being said, I think I'm going off on a tangent and I'm rambling right now. So where was I? So yeah, getting back to the Chiron and the North Node and the whole dark horse codes, codes, it was the discovery of the dark horse star codes, which I'm going to go into more here in a moment. I promise I don't mean to keep you in suspense. It is a multi-dimensional approach of the healing, the different layers of work that I did over time for myself and then started sharing with others. And so, where is my tissues? My nose is starting to run. And so let's talk about first let me take a moment and see which direction I want to go, because I want to just touch on the multidimensional layers and levels for you. And so, well, we'll go ahead and just dive right into what I call the medicine of the horse is in the stars. Okay. And so, as mentioned, Chiron is a celestial body, right? So that's astrology, right? We talked about Chiron and the North Node. So I discovered a few years back, which really pulled a lot of puzzle pieces together for me, that that Chiron is also known as the dark horse planet, which I think I mentioned earlier. And like I said, that pulled so many pieces together for me. And when now this is going back a while, I want to say maybe 2000, I don't know, 16 or around there, 15, 16, 17. I can't remember. Anyway, after a while, everything starts to blend together with time. But I was going through a sort of a mini dark night where I was starting to feel the shifts and feel better with my body and my health issues. However, I was feeling kind of lost around my soul's work and my path forward, and really, lacking clarity and confidence around my direction. And as I began to sort of dig a little deeper and study my natal chart even more, and especially with respect to the placement of Chiron, which, by the way, if you're not familiar, it is said that the placement of Chiron in your natal chart, so at the time you were born, the alignment of Chiron in the stars and, at your birth date, right, was actually, creating, imprinting you with your soul's blueprint. And it is said that Chiron's placement in your chart is literally like telling you where your soul wounds are, in what areas, right? And because we know our greatest wounds hold our greatest gifts, strengths, and abilities, right? When we can first expand our awareness and have this new knowledge, then we are able to take the next step, which is to do the healing and the integration work, right? To find the gifts, to mine the gold, and really heal and embrace the event, the soul wound, whatever you want to call it. And that allows us now to feel whole and free from the past as we do all the different layers of work, whether it's forgiveness, whether it's like, releasing and dissolving frozen emotions that are stuck in our body. There are all different layers, and depending again on your flavor and where you're at on the journey, it's all good. But what I want to say is that for me, that medicine of the horse and the stars, and that became for me what I now call the Chiron codes, and or AKA the dark horse star codes. Okay, so one dimension of the dark horse star codes has to do with looking at your natal chart and discovering your personal dark horse codes, right? So that's, and that's not like, it's not for everybody. Like, you don't have to have that information to heal. I want to say that. It just depends on if you're someone who has sort of like that inquiring mind, like mine. Like as a Virgo, right? My sun is in Mercury. And so I'm can tend to be very mental and analytical and all of that. And so if you have the kind of mind who kind of really wants to understand and have a greater depth of knowledge and wisdom to understand and know thyself better, then the astrology for me is a very powerful tool. But again, you don't have to have that to heal your wounds, okay? I want to be clear there. And I also want to be clear, although I am a student and greatly fascinated and studying astrology, numerology, all the things over the past 6, 7, 8 years now, and counting again, I lose track of time. I do want to be crystal clear. As with anything, we never want to give our power away to anything outside of us, right? So whether it's, the tarot cards, which I love and I'm a big fan of and have like over a dozen decks, and astrology. Like, I just feel like it's sort of like a cosmic weather forecast. Like, knowledge is power. It is the reflection of the collective psyche and the energies that are kind of, available. They are potential energies, but it does not dictate, it does not determine our fate, right? But having that knowledge, having that power allows us to work with and play with the energies in a more empowering way. And really, for me, it's like riding the waves, riding the cosmic waves, and being supported, if we choose to view it that way and work with it that way, by something greater, right? To do the work, to grow, to heal, to elevate and expand and beyond, right? So that's the astrology piece. That is one dimension of the dark horse codes. The next dimension, if we come down from the stars, if we come down a little bit to our crown and our mind, this was a fascinating book that I came across a few years back as well, by Todd Rose and Augie August. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't even completed the book, but what I've read of it so far, I kind of tend to do that with books. I pick them up and read a little bit and come back and whatever. Anyway, but what the essence of this book, by the way, what it's about, it's based on a study done at Harvard about these incredible souls who were essentially like trailblazers. They were bucking the system. They were going against the grain, and for them, personal fulfillment, like creating the personal fulfillment and success, kind of against all odds and in their own way, on their own terms. And so for me, I love the essence and the message of this book and this work. And so after kind of getting exposed to this and doing some meditation and having my own sort of downloads and light codes come through, I received multiple codes, what I call dark horse codes, around having the mental upgrades, right, and shifts that empower someone who feels like a dark horse, someone who knows they're different, someone who knows they're meant to lead, right? And that they are a rare breed. Like maybe, and if you feel this way, let me know down below. But, if you feel like you never fit in, if you felt like the black sheep, if you feel like people just don't get you, if you've always known and felt you're different, maybe you resonate with being a starseed or a light worker or an indigo child or crystal child, right? Whatever the case may be, you know that you're different, and deep down you also know and get that the fact that you are different also means that you are meant to not only lead but to stand out. You're meant to be part of the change and the new earth and birthing the new paradigm, right, at this time, as we are going through so many changes on the planet. And so if this is you, if you resonate, the dark horse codes as they came through for me, and I did do I think 4 different reels on the 4 main top dark horse codes, and I'm not going to go into them now, but those dark horse codes are really about the mental aspect of, again, having the mindset upgrades and shifts to really step into owning your desires, because your desires are divine and you are worthy and deserving of your desires, but you have to decide and you have to choose them, just like we talked about earlier with our free will. Okay, so that's the mental piece. Then the next piece obviously is going to be coming down into the heart healing and really the rest of our body, right? All of the dimensions, our creative expression, our integration of the mental, the embodiment, right? All of the rest of our body, mind, and spirit, right? How do we integrate and embody all of these? And so, because I am a vertical channel, I actually channel a lot of very high frequency transmissions. I work with my spiritual oneness support team, SOS, which consists of not only divine source energy, but collective spirit of the horse, aka the wind horse herd, the horse goddess Epona, and more. Yeshua is one of my really sacred guides. And so over the years on my journey, I have worked with many, many guides, and this is my kind of like team, right? That I work with on the spirit realm. And so when I channel, I'm often channeling their messages and the light codes and different healing frequencies. I work with Christ consciousness as well and diamond light codes as well. And so it's very, very powerful. Many, many people over the years have reflected back just how powerful my my activations and transmissions are. And I also do something very unique where not all of my transmissions, but the ones that I consider most special and sacred, often are transmitted and recorded while I'm out riding my horse. And so anyway, so it's infused naturally with the medicine of the horse, the sounds of nature, and that all of that high vibe juju frequency, right? The sun, the moon, the stars, etc. And so these are all just sort of the multi-dimensional layers, which really help to give you the energetic upgrades, okay? To really help you do the healing and the integration work. And the last piece that I want to mention is on a very body-based level, trauma-informed, body-based, trauma-sensitive, body-based level, because of all the work I've done on my SHERO'S journey. I do incorporate a lot of embodiment work, a lot of guided breath work. I do something called ABBA therapy, which stands for ABBA Breath Alchemy, where I combine gentle guided breath work practices with acupoints because of my background in Chinese medicine, and I also tapped for years as well. So I've kind of created my own modalities, right? And because I have found it so important to create the safety and to also nourish and recalibrate your nervous system along the way on this journey, right? Because when we are seeking to grow and change, what often happens is the resistance comes up because our body, our minds wants to keep us safe, especially again, if you've had, past trauma like I have, right? You want to keep nourishing yourself and your nervous system to support it and feeling safe as you stretch your comfort zone, right? So these are all the different aspects of the work that I do. And again, the Dark Horse Code specifically refers to both the astrology as well as all of these multi-dimensional layers from the mental, the energetic, the emotional, etc. Right? The emotional agility piece is also super important. Learning how to navigate our emotions, which we know are energy in motion, right? And when we don't have the tools or the awareness or the support to do that, right, then we can continue creating more energy blockages, gunking up the flow of chi or our life force energy, which just creates more issues in our tissues. Okay. So I hope this makes sense. I actually have a call that I need to go to, but I wanted to really just open this conversation around this Chiron conjunct North node and how you can actually work with these energies like in a timely manner, again, depending on when you're seeing this, But February 19th, 2024 is really when the energies are peaking and Chiron is conjunct, meaning coming together with next to the North Node. And that's where all these pieces that I was talking about, the healing work and our destiny and the opportunity at the end of the day to rewrite your destiny, right? To do this inner work, to heal and set yourself free from the past is available to us now in the most beautiful, powerful, magical way. And if you feel called to do this work and work with the dark horse, again, I want to invite you to make sure you check down in the link. I have a very special Valentine's Dark Horse Destiny love offering with 3 different options for you to choose from, where you can, if you simply want to get started with some of the training and the workshops, and I have like audio processes for you to listen to meet your inner dark horse and so much more there. I can't go into it now, but and again, it's on special for Valentine's for just 24 hours more at the time of this recording. So there is that. And the other one that I want to mention, if you're really ready to like literally, transform your life in 8 weeks, and you would like to do a deeper dive with me as your guide, I also have a brand new 8-week course or program called The Wealth Within, where we're going to be navigating and going through the 5 elements and different energetic archetypes. As this also was given to me by spirit, but we're working with the lens of the 5 elements of Chinese medicine, where I'm going to take you through the correlations and associations between our physical body, the organ systems, the acupuncture meridians and points, the key points, and the emotions, and I'm also going to be doing processes to help you clear them, move the energy so you can start healing and feeling better during our time together, and then have those tools for life, right? That you can share with your family and friends and loved ones and all the things. So I'm really excited about that. And that also right now, by the way, FYI, with the V-Day special, when you decide to sign up for and pay in full for the VIP, well, I think I have 2 different options, but when you pay in full, you can actually get the bonus of the Valentine's Day Dark Horse Destiny offering at the different levels. So I'm going to leave it at that. At the end of the day, if you receive value, if you are resonating with what I'm sharing here, I would be so grateful. Thank you in advance for the love, for the like, for the subscribing. I am really looking to grow my soul herd here on YouTube. I'll be transparent with you. I started a while back ago. I have a different channel that's in like the top at my channel there, that I was being really consistent there for a while, and I fell off the horse, for a number of reasons, but I've really, really been feeling called to come back to YouTube, and I would be so grateful for your support to, again, subscribe, like, share the love, all the things, and I plan to be back again soon. So until next time, ciao for now. Namaste. Bye. Okay, where is my okay, here we go.